And I told her I don't care if he is her husband. Right now.
It's time to rise from the grave, pour yourself a cup, and enjoy the coffee crypt.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Crypt.
Happy Sunday!
Yay! You're still on brand today. You got your cup.
Yeah, I got my cup. That's right. I was feeling guilty because the shirt was in the wash, so I brought Michael out for today.
Still relevant. It's horror related.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know we were before we hit record, we were kind of talking a little bit about movies that we had seen. I was saying I haven't put out a review for Haunted Mansion because I feel like I still.
Oh, that's another one I really want to see.
Oh, yeah. But just at the top of the show, I figured just to talk about I saw Haunted Mansion this week, and it was one where I was it ended, and I was like, I liked it. Don't know if I loved it, and I just didn't. Yeah, I just didn't know how to articulate a review for it. So it really took me a few days to really just think about it, right?
Okay.
Because there's some stuff that I didn't love, but then the more I thought about it, there were some things that I really loved, at least just from a writing perspective.
Okay.
I really liked how they added to the lore of the mansion.
Okay.
They really the bride had a little bit more of a backstory, the Hatbox Ghost, Madame Leota, everyone had a little bit more, and it was all interconnected in a fun way. And I was so it took me some way to think about it. I was I think that's probably my favorite parts.
Okay.
Of it. It had some genuine little creepy moments. It's not scary. It's a Disney movie.
Well, it's a family movie, right? So,
but it had some good scares too, some good jump scares.
Fun scares,
fun. We'll say fun scares, there were some jump scares, nothing nothing gory, but they were not afraid to talk about some dark stuff though.
Okay.
For a Disney movie, just stuff like death and murder and suicide and a lot of stuff that I was just oh, okay, all right, they're going for it.
Is PG?
PG-13.
It is PG-13. Oh, I don't think.
Yeah, so they were able to
get a little more
macabre and talk about some heavy stuff.
That technically means they could have gotten in one F word.
They could have, and honestly, I would have loved to have heard Danny DeVito say it.
Oh my! Right? I don't know that. I forget he knows other words. Yeah,
but some fun cameos too. I don't want to spoil it. There were some fun 80s throwback cameos.
Cool.
Some other people show up. Yeah, and they just full on all the references to the ride were definitely fun to be ha ha. And a really fun, jazzy, updated version of Grim Grinning Ghosts from the ride. Because it all takes place in New Orleans, so it was kind of a jazz version of it.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah. So it was really cool. So yeah, there was it's definitely something I do want to rewatch.
It sounds you enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah. I think I just needed to mull it over a little bit.
I get that.
We all have those movies where we just need a little time.
That's true. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else I saw? Oh, and then Talk to Me. You got to see. But we were just talking about that.
Yeah, I'll get to see it when it's where I can rent it.
I think that'll be soon enough.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to just ignore the thoughts, because it's so hard to go into something overhyped and just have an experience of your own,
Sure.
And so, but this one is I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the best. I'm gonna say it's not the best horror movie ever. For me, it's my favorite of the year.
That's what a lot of people are saying. That's really great, and a lot of people have said it's one of A24's best as well. That it was such a unique. What have I seen? A unique take on possession, and which from the trailer, it absolutely looks really unique. We'll see,
Yeah, no.
I hope the hype is right. I always go into movies like that wanting to be impressed and scared and uncomfortable, and I hope that's what happens.
You'll feel uncomfortable. That's
good. Good. That's why I watched this subgenre. I
think I said it in my review. Is I could feel the weight of the movie,
you said that, yeah,
bringing people down. I was oh yeah.
I'm here for it. Yeah, I really hope that it lives up to all this like hype that everyone's giving it. So we'll see soon, hopefully.
Yeah. But speaking of new movies, we have 2 big trailers to talk about.
Yeah, 2 really big ones.
2 big ones. The ones that everyone are talking about.
Yeah. So the first one we're going to talk about is Saw. Saw X is what I say in my head. Saw X, Saw 10, pre-Saw, whatever fits. Which has a very interesting return of John Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
So this one comes out, I remember the date, September 29th. I've already made my best friend promise that she'll go see this with me in theaters. Yes. My partner is
doing it.
Not super into the gore. I think Saw is pushing it. I really pushed it with Evil Dead Rise, but she loves me, so she went anyway. But I was like, my best friend's going to be free. I won't have my kid. I was like, let's go see it on that weekend. So we're going to go see it in theaters. So I guess trailer thoughts before I even go into my thoughts on the Saw franchise, because I'm a huge Saw franchise fan. When I did my very first episode on influential horror, I did my own, and Saw is on my top 5 influential horror movies for me personally. And I love the franchise. So when it first got announced and we knew nothing about it, I was like, what are they going to do? And then it was like, oh, like it's going to be that Jigsaw's going to be back. And I'm like, as a zombie? Like, what do you mean? Like, so the trailer gives us, pretty much what our premise is. Our premise is John Kramer finds people that swear that they can cure him, and then they're liars and they don't, and he makes them pay.
Classic revenge.
It's perfect. It felt like the trailer, we see a couple of the setups. I felt like they showed some interesting things in the rooms with the people as far as like the traps and stuff, but they really didn't give a lot away.
No.
Which I love, of course. And yeah, just like it felt like a Saw movie again. Like, when I saw the trailer for Spiral, I already knew I wasn't going to like it. And then I saw the movie and I really didn't like it. And there's a few of the others that I think are weak links in the franchise as a whole, but this felt more like the originals, the first 3, which we briefly discussed before hitting record as well, because those 3 are the best in the franchise. And
absolutely.
And this, I think, is going to go nestled in with those really nicely. God, something about his presence, right? Like, Tobin Bell is changes it. Oh my God, like his voice. We get the, Billy's back, the doll.
Yep.
All these if you're a fan of the franchise, I don't know that anybody who is a fan could have watched this trailer and not gotten excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't say I'm the biggest Saw fan in general, but I enjoy them a lot. And I'd say those early ones for sure. Like I was saying, it's like the perfect trilogy. If you just watch the first 3, I mean, granted, it has a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end.
Not too much.
It has those threads, like that he puts the tape in the wax, so you like that. That's a thread that's explored in the 4th one, and then and then it ends with the girl being missing. But like you said, it feels like it nestles in really well with those first 3, just tonally, visually. Having him alive and present.
So
early days, I know it's between 1 and 2. So we know Amanda's back. So this is probably her like up and coming, like him kind of teaching her the ropes kind of stuff. I think Hoffman's in the movie.
I've heard that too. I think so.
Right. Because I forget, you can correct me because I don't remember like when he picks up Hoffman. Because I know Hoffman's on board. I mean, we're introduced to Hoffman in 3. He's and then he's confirmed to be a partner in 4.
4. That sounds right. Yep.
Right. And then but I don't know how early on he picked him up.
Yeah, and I don't think they ever really dive into that anyway.
Right.
It's sort of a franchise that kind of just gives you the information, and then eventually it connects a couple dots, but not really the whole picture.
No.
I mean, it kind of
flashbacks.
Well, that's true. Oh my God, one of my favorite Saw memes is when they did the flashback of Jigsaw with the baseball cap. And they're like, some companies use CGI to make their characters look younger, and the Saw franchise put them in a baseball cap because he still looks old as hell. I'm really excited. I really like the franchise. I was I really thought Spiral was going to be it, and I was kind of sad to think about like it ending on such a weak note. And I really like this premise of it being not a prequel, but an in between. No, I don't know what you would call that, but it's God, I'm really excited, and it's also because the first movie is the only one where we really get a taste of what he was feeling as far as like what he, because of the sickness and everything. And I really love that this feels like just this full on like rage revenge story of he's like, I'm going to teach you guys a lesson for real. And because I think there's like a part of the trailer, like of all the people you could have done this to, this is who you did it to. Yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, that's right. You don't mess with John Kramer.
Oh man, I loved how emotional the trailer felt too. Like I love the song choice. I've had heard the song before, but since the trailer came out, I downloaded that band and I've been listening to that song. Like it's a 70s, like a 1974.
Yeah.
Totally blanking on the name of the group though. It is the Hollies.
The Hollies.
Yeah, I like them. And yeah, just like kind of that classic rock 70s sound. But yeah, no, I love the kind of the emotional story it seems to be showing, and it feels very grounded. It doesn't seem like, they didn't show too much of the traps, like you said, but it doesn't seem like they're going to rely only on the traps, right? Because you're going to have this like emotional story.
I agree. Yeah, no, it felt like it was going to be a little bit more well-rounded in that regard because, I mean, and the first Saw movie was a little more outside of the traps too. 2 is when it really became more all about. Like we didn't get as much of the before. We got a little bit more of the before in the first one.
But the character dynamics in 2 were great. The house, all the people in the house.
Oh my God, 2 is I love that one. Like, yeah. And I think it's crazy because so like when obviously people are like, oh, greatest twist in horror, like this is one of them. And the original. And so like the original. And so when you watch the original, I remember sitting on my couch watching this movie as a teenager for the first time. My dad and I are watching it. When he gets up off that floor, I literally I had to sit on the floor. I had to like get up from where I was sitting and sit on the floor. I was literally floored. I could not believe the twist in this. And so, when you go into the second, you're automatically like, no way can they beat that. And they didn't, it's not beaten, but the twist in 2 and 3 are Saw worthy. They're Saw worthy, and I really liked them. And so I don't know with this one if there's going to be a twist. They've revealed the Amanda thing already, so I'm not really sure. But I'm hoping for something. It doesn't have to be like the first. Again, I don't think that could be topped at this point. No. But I would love to see something like twist at the end. Would be a lot of fun.
Something that's going to set it apart a little bit, or just give us that like aha moment.
Yeah, I don't want it to just be a fill-in of some background stuff,
Like add to the lore, which I think they are, which they're going to do.
I think so too. I think this is going to be really, really good.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell. I'm assuming all the traps are taking place in Mexico. So it's interesting that he's leaving the country to practice and do this, right? So it's just gonna have a different vibe anyway, being
you're right,
in a different country.
You're right.
So that'll just be cool to see.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
trying to think if I had any other. I don't know. I think the music was my last like love. I think it's an exciting trailer. As someone who's like I'm not a big Saw fan, like I got pretty hyped watching the trailer.
I genuinely did too, and I am a big fan. So this. I'm not a big social media is what I was going to say. I'm not very good at that either. Physical media. I'm not a very physical media driven fan of anything. And so, and just to give you an indication of how much I love this franchise, I own every single one except for Spiral on DVD.
That's good.
Because I love the franchise so much. And the cases are so cool. Like the clear, like the white clear ones with like the green beigey colors of the stuff on the front. I thought was so good. I had
ones where it was like I don't remember green, but they were like the transparent slips.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't
Yeah.
like, but it's like a green yellow, like a moldy color.
Yeah.
Of the pictures and stuff. Yeah, those are the ones I have. The ones with the covers.
Those are so cool. Yeah,
they are
I don't
cool.
even know. My brother probably has my copies. I had some of them.
Yeah.
If they come out with a steelbook re-release for these, because I know that Shout Factory has been doing. Like, I've been getting so many of their steelbooks.
Yeah,
and because I used to be a big physical media person, but it used to be for everything: horror, sci-fi, fantasy, like anything. And then I just did mostly digital, and now I've kind of since getting a 4K player, I've kind of retroactively gone back, and there's just been so much drama lately with like who has the streaming rights to this thing. This thing is taking their show away, so then you can't watch it on their platform anymore. And there's like, there's just so much of that. I'm like, I just want it in my hands, or the ones that
I know what you mean.
Really matter to me,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, nope, it's a good. It's fun, and they're quick movies too. Like I said, I've been binge watching them. So I finished 1 through 3. Fell asleep during 4. That's not a knock on 4 in particular. It's just I was just tired.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so I'm excited. So September 29th, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to see it opening weekend.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to drag my friend. Well, I want to drag my horror buddy friend, but he's gonna have a newborn at that point. So yeah.
Just get some earmuffs for the baby. It'll be fun. Just kidding. Just kidding.
But anything else on Saw?
No, I think that's it. I'm excited. I'll be really pumped to talk about it.
So the next one we got a trailer for Exorcist Believer, and I was lucky enough to see it, and I had just heard before going to see Oppenheimer that they had put the trailer in front of it. And my friend told me, who had seen it, was like, you don't realize it's an Exorcist trailer until partway through when you start to hear the music, right? I think when you're watching it on YouTube, it's like, you're watching the Exorcist trailer. But what was kind of cool,
I see, yeah.
But what was cool about seeing it in theaters was just like, oh, okay, it just kind of looks like a Blumhouse movie, like.
I see. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
it's just kind of giving me Black Phone vibes, right? Because it's just like 2 girls go missing. And then you hear the do 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 do, and you hear the little bell. I was like, oh, this is it. So it was just like this quick little like twist. I was like, oh man, okay, so that was fun. And then you can just hear people go, oh no, and like some of the older crowd who like were just not into horror movies. They were like, nope. They're probably thinking back to 1970. Like, nope, I was there, not again. So it was just kind of funny to hear the crowd's reaction.
Yeah.
But I really like this trailer. So so it starts off with these 2 girls. Dad's dropping one of them off, and then the school is showing them footage of them, like security footage of them leaving. Girls are missing. We see some kind of creepy imagery in the woods, some like totems and things hanging. There's a search party. They find the girls 3 days later. They think they've only been out, gone 3 hours.
I'm sure.
Some demonic shenanigans going on in the woods. And then they're convinced they've brought something back with them. We see like a dead horse and weird stuff going on. And then they get kind of pulled back to the hospital, and like you could definitely see the parallels between like Reagan being on the stretcher in the original with these girls on the stretcher.
Yeah. And
then they asked the nurse like if she had seen anyone who's been through this before, if she knows anyone. And then we get our first look at Ellen Burstyn, who has gone on to write books about her experience with Reagan. Apparently she's done deep dive research into exorcisms across multiple cultures, which was my favorite part of the trailer, was the fact that I think we're going to be stepping away from just Catholicism.
I got that impression too.
Yeah, because she says it's going to take all of these methods. And I got chills seeing her. I love Ellen Burstyn. I've seen her in, she's in so many other things. She's done some fun Lifetime movies that she did the Flowers in the Attic movies, and I'm like, I love my cheese, but I enjoy Ellen. I enjoy Ellen a lot. And then I think some of the practical effects, I think the makeup looks really good. It's not like your typical CG exorcism where we see a lot now where like that CG mouth open. I'm over that effect. Please stop doing that in movies.
Its magic is gone.
Magic is gone. I don't need to see someone go, and the jaw goes down. None of that. This feels
doesn't
like
work
classic,
anymore.
like original makeup of just having the the girls slowly deform over time.
Yeah, it looked like their hair goes back for
like they're losing their hair.
And yeah.
Yeah, and just like the slow like tearing of the face. Like I love it feels good, that makeup. Trying to think of like just highlights. I like the parallel of like the dogs fighting. Like it feels like it's going to, you know, they don't show too much outside of just the big beats of like girls go missing, girls get possessed.
It's mostly the setup, yeah.
It's the setup and then a little bit at the end, right? Teasing maybe a possible return of Linda Blair. I feel like they're holding that close to their chest if she is in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm optimistic. I feel like I heard a lot of mixed stuff online about the trailer. What did you think?
So I guess I really like the original, The Exorcist. It's one of very few movies in my life as a horror fan that has given me nightmares. And I really for a long time, and I've probably talked about this before, I really for a long time thought that it was kind of like untouchable, like we would just leave it alone. And then so when this got announced and then they were like, oh, but no, like it's not a remake. I'm like, well, that's smart. I don't think it would be a good idea to do it as a remake. I think it would make better sense to do it as a continuation of the concept. And this is going to be kind of weird because like what I can tell you is I felt nothing for the trailer, but I don't know if I can really say why. I think a couple of my concerns are David Gordon Green is kind of gotten a reputation for relying on nostalgia. He uses a lot of things from the others to make people excited about the new. And that's what this felt like to me. We get the bedroom scene. Yeah. Well, that looks really familiar, right? And I, originally, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, when people first shared the poster for this, I didn't realize it was a poster for the new movie. I thought it was someone just talking about the movie The Exorcist because of how similar they made them look.
Right.
And I don't now. While I on the one hand, I can appreciate consistency and appearance. I do love the use of the practical effects. That's always better in my opinion. But I don't like that it looks so much like the old. Yeah. I don't want to go into this and just be spoon-fed a 2023 take on a movie I've already seen and that I love. And it feels like the story's a little different so far from what we know. This is just obviously the trailer reactions, but it seems like a different setup of sorts. But that was the only thing I felt was unique about it as a trailer. And so when I got to the end of it, I was like, I really just don't, I'm not excited. Like I want to be, I don't know if I'm just being like hyper cautious because I don't want to be super let down because this is a big deal. Like, I'm not
it's one of the biggest horror movies of all time.
Yeah. And then too, like you have to think about all the stuff we know now and have learned over the last decade or so about what happened during the making of this movie, what the people who were on it went through, how hurt they got. But Linda had to have people around her all the time because she was harassed, she was abused, there's all these things. And I think when all of that adds to this, this movie, right? This feeling you get when you watch it. And the use of the practical stuff, some of the moments in the original are just like, I still, even now, I'll be 35 in a month, and I still can't think about the crucifix scene and the stairs without feeling nervous. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about this. I'm nervous about it because I don't know. It's going to be really hard to be patient with it. I don't know. My expectations are just going to be really high and I'm not able to go into it with an open mind, I'm afraid. So, and that's just kind of where I felt, the trailer. I really wanted to be. I wanted the trailer to make me feel better, and it didn't. It made me feel worse. And so, anyway, so that's kind of where I am with it. And I know, like, my friend Scott and I are going to cover it in a little more in depth when we do like remakes when after it comes out in October. So it'll be a November episode. So it comes out at October 13th, right? Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll be able to get it in before the end of October, but definitely by November. And I'm like, and his exact response when I asked him if he wanted to cover it, because it's not technically a remake, it's a continuation, is yeah, no, we have to tear this apart. Like he's already going into it with this mindset of like, it's going to suck. And I don't know, I'm just really nervous. I wanted the trailer to get me excited, but what you're talking about when you feel with the music, I was just like, oh no, like it didn't have that feeling. I wanted
that's okay. Yeah, maybe when maybe because I had a different experience of like, oh, the realization of it. Oh, this is an Exorcist trailer.
Yes, I agree.
I changed my like.
Whereas you messaged me and you were like, "It's out, go watch it," and so I went and watched it. That could be a very big part of it, because the music in a lot of horror films really does like spice up your excitement about it. Like the Saw music. We were just talking about Saw. Saw's the same way. When I hear that music, I'm back in that bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Halloween music is the same way. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of horror themes that sit with us. And when we hear them, we immediately have this emotional response. And this didn't. And I wanted it to so badly. I never like not being excited about horror, but this one, I'm nervous.
Well, it's hard to have nostalgia when the movie has one returning character. Right. So really the nostalgia is based on a vibe.
That's true.
It's not so much like we're not getting a sequel with Linda Blair at the helm.
They tried that. It did not work.
Tried it. Didn't work. It was bad in 1970, whatever, 77.
Yeah. Right.
Didn't work then. Probably not going to work now. Mm-hmm. And then people will have retroactively fallen in love with Exorcist 3. People really do like that movie.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't have much to do with the original in the sense of it being like, but I don't know. It has to do. I wanted to set itself apart though. Yeah. Like this idea of like, okay, so The Exorcist changed the game for horror in 1970, right? It like was the introduction to really demonic possession based films.
Yep.
Right. Like you're going to take the Exorcist name for their movie, you have to do something that's going to add to it and set, but also set itself apart.
I agree.
In a way that's not just going to be a lot of the copy paste films that have come along the way, right? Since 1970. So I think going back to the original, like practical effect aesthetic is important.
Yes.
Right. I didn't see much CGI in this trailer. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I think he knew better. I think he knew better.
I think he knew better. I like the idea of it being a multicultural exorcism.
I like that too.
I think that sets itself apart. I think you're bringing yourself into the modern day by doing that, because not everyone. Also, you want to get a buy-in from people who aren't super religious either. Right?
Well, and it just depends on how they decide to utilize that, because we don't see the practices that get used because if it's just used as info dumping about all these different things, or like what a lot of, not the Exorcist franchise specifically, but a lot of demonic possession things will be like, and this is the same, and all these other writings, and they use that as like a gateway to mention the other things, but then don't go into them.
Don't incorporate it really.
Yeah, it really just depends on how deep they go with that, because I really think that would be the it fact. That would be like the it, right? Like if they're able to do that and to go with a different way and to get away from the Catholicism and to make it a broader story about the other ways that this can go down, I think that would make it a really strong continuation, because like you said, I mean, it's got to be different. It can't be the same.
Yeah. And I think they have to do something that's the thing, is like, do they try to one up some of the shock stuff in the original? Because then if it doesn't surpass it, is it going to be automatically seen as a failure? They have to do something different enough, right? Like, what's going to be their head twist, their crucifix, their stair walk? Like, they have to do something that's going to. I mean, like with the two, I mean, it being two girls to begin with is cool.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a cool way to up the ante a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
2 for 1. Yeah.
2 for 1. And is it the same demon that's possessing them? That's the thing, is like, we're adding to what demons can do.
Yeah.
Right? Because is it Pazuzu in both of them? Or is
Well, and we don't know how it
Yeah.
happens either. You know, with
Right.
Reagan, it was a Ouija board and whatever, right? So it's not like this could be an opportunity to branch out from that kind of stuff too.
There might be some culty stuff. Maybe a nod to Exorcist 3, because they did show that stuff in the forest with the woodwork things. There could be some like other people
That would be good, yeah.
You know, maybe throw in a little Rosemary's Baby influence.
Yeah.
You know, that's my theory. I think there's more. Yeah, because these girls, they seem so innocent in the trailer,
and you're like, well, how did they?
Too.
Yeah,
but like, kids don't just bring out Ouija boards as much. I mean, I don't, because as a therapist and I work with kids, people, they don't really. I mean, I have not heard one kid talk about playing with a Ouija board.
Thank God, no one do that.
No, don't do that.
Just in case, right? Like, just
in
don't
case,
even do it.
I mean, now they do stupid things like there's all those like TikTok challenges. Like, I don't know. I can't now. I'm gonna put myself on the spot. I can't remember. But I did just see the elevator
inhaling borax.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that's
really
stupid
dumb
stuff.
Shit. Putting charcoal and everything. That's not the same thing. But
I mean, people still do break into abandoned buildings, though. People still do that.
That's true. They're called urban Xers. It's called you going to jail if you don't stop doing that.
You're trying your luck.
Yeah, I hope that I'm wrong. I think it's probably not one I'm going to go see in theaters. I will probably wait. I know, but you know, I have to pick my theater moments carefully. Yeah. And I will be going to see FNAF a couple weeks later in theaters.
Yep.
And so, you know, I have to pick and choose those moments carefully, and it's just not, especially after the trailer, it just didn't make gotta see this in theater. Like, no.
They're going to have a second trailer, though. There's always 2 trailers. This is like the first one.
What if then I'm like, oh, what if the second one shows too much?
I know that's yeah, because I feel like marketing is probably aware of any comments people make. I think the logic between having 2 trailers is you release the first one, you look at the response, and then you like try to make a second trailer to like either quell worries or like address certain things. And I don't know. That's my guess of the 2 trailer.
I can see that
strategy.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, no. I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm excited. I do love the Halloween Blumhouse trilogy. I know a lot of people were like, meh, you know, but I think it brought enough nostalgia in the beginning, and then went on to do its own thing. Whether you like the new thing or not, you know, whatever. But either one is valid. But I feel like he can do nostalgia, and then he can take risks. And whether you like the risk or not, that's fine, right? But he can do both.
Yeah.
You know. But anywho, any other thoughts?
No, I think that's about it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's amazing.
I hope you're wrong too.
I know. I want to be. I really do.
Oh, well. We'll see. Only time will tell. We're getting close. I mean, it's August, right? This is when, like, I feel like you can start to feel spooky season around the corner. Right?
Oh my God, I know. I'm so excited. One of my friends that I follow on Twitter posted like he got to go to a spirit today, and I was like,
"Wow,
we don't get them that early here."
I'm gonna have to look it up. I feel like
Halloween in freaking August, like.
I can think of 2 locations that were spirits over time, and I'm trying to like. I haven't driven past them though, so I don't know. I'll have to go check it out.
There's not any open near us yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
And then like you know what's really weird, and weather is like a weird thing right now because of, you know, the thing they say that doesn't exist, climate change. And so this has been like the hottest summer in like 100 million years. And so but there are leaves falling off the trees around my house, even though it's like 90 degrees outside.
Wow.
I had pollen. Okay. I live in Georgia. We don't get pollen after like May.
Yeah.
why do I have pollen? Like we're starting over and leaves, like we're going into, it's very confusing. I don't know if this is like
nature's
the apocalypse.
confused.
Maybe it is. But like it just does. I say all that to say that the leaves, like, were kind of like, that makes me think of spooky season, right? Because it happens. And so anyway, so I just thought that was interesting. I was like walking from checking the mail, and I was like, oh, there's like leaves everywhere. What is going on?
It's so funny. I just associate August with Halloween, even though Halloween's in October, just because I feel like it's the start of feeling that.
I think, for me, and I think it's like this for a lot of horror fans, it starts after July 4th. Once July 4th is out of the way, it's spooky season.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I feel like I remember like a lot of horror movies used to come out in August.
That's when it started, when kids went back to school.
Yeah.
We were done, like the summertime is like family summer movies, right? Or whatever. And then usually
it's like August, beginning of September.
You go into, that's when you start getting the other stuff. Yeah.
Right, because I remember like the Rob Zombie Halloween. I think the second one came out in August. I don't remember when the first one came out.
September and October are the two really big ones, though.
Yeah.
Like September is, so my birthday's in September. In September, there's always a ton of stuff for me to see. Mm-hmm. Always.
Oh, yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have to have some Halloween themed coffee crypt plan and come.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Well, I know we got one thing percolating, the unboxing. I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, I was like, well, tell me. Like I'm not part of the planning.
No. Yeah, so I know we're gonna do a joint unboxing from Sturry.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna do. We're gonna get their big box, their big one.
Yeah.
Their Halloween one. They're supposed to ship by 9/1, so we should be. I follow them on everything. Like, as soon as I see that they're available, I'm going to get one. Yeah. And I'll let you know if I see it before you, and you do the same.
Yeah, because I'm not going to remember to check all the time.
Yeah, I've been checking. I'm obsessed with them. I mean, I'm obsessed with them. So yeah, I definitely
didn't. I didn't do an unboxing video, but you know what? Maybe I'll take a picture for the socials of the stuff that came in my box.
Yeah, you should.
I'm going to do that.
Your box is amazing because you did a bigger one.
I did the middle one.
The middle one, which was bigger than the one I got, though.
Yeah. So it had the really cute, like a lot of Ghostface stuff. It was like a Ghostface plushie pillow with like a matching keychain. It had like a Scream tumbler.
But yours was different. You had a different.
It was different.
One.
It had the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still had the call me on it though, which I liked.
Yeah. It's the knife with the ghost face on the knife.
On the knife. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it was a different color.
Yes, I think it's dark.
It's darker. Yeah.
Do you remember if it's black or like dark gray or?
It's dark. I remembered it being dark. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead. So yeah.
But yeah. So we're gonna do. I know we're gonna do a double unboxing of the large one.
Oh, I can't wait to do that. That's gonna be chaotic fun. I'm excited because I'm gonna be just as freaked out. Like I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like everything I don't know.
I'll probably have like the box open here, and then I'll probably what we could do is like the big items first, and then there's like the mini bag with everything in it.
Yeah, well, it'll be an organized guess.
We'll have to organize it.
I can't remember in your picture. Did you get the canvas bag with the bear on it?
I had a canvas. I had a bag with. It was a Ghostface bag.
You didn't know. You should have gotten at least one thing that had the bear on it. The zombie bear? No?
I don't think I had anything bear related.
Oh, I thought you either got the bear or you got a bag that had the bear on it.
I'm gonna have to look through that. I'm wrong. I had like something that it almost looked like a makeup bag kind of, or like it almost looked like a pencil case kind of bag. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the bear was on it though. I'll have to look. I'll go through it again. Maybe I might be misremembering. I
wonder if you texted it to me or if you.
Oh, I did take a picture of it. Actually, now that you're right.
Okay, it's not in our text. You must have sent it to me. Yeah, you sent it to me on Twitter.
Let's see.
I was like freaking out about it. I was like, "Oh my god, you're right. You don't have anything." I wonder if they ran out.
They might have ran out because those were all like limited edition stuff, right?
Yep, your cup is blue.
Right, it was the dark blue.
You got a Halloween lanyard.
For those on. That was my tumbler, the little ghost face.
Yeah, it looks like we only got one of the same thing.
Oh well, now I'm like, here we go.
That's it.
I don't think so. Yeah,
We only got one item that was the same, and it's the Child's Play poster.
That was my little plushy pillow. Oh yeah, the Child's Play.
That was the only thing we got that
poster. Yeah. But I got like I got a Billy the Puppet air freshener. I got a Freddy Krueger tarot card, a Halloween lanyard, a Michael Myers like hand towel for the bathroom, which was really cute.
That's adorable.
Little Michael pin.
We're big fans.
Yeah, I tell you, Sturry, that code probably still works. Voices 10.
Voices right? 10 at checkout. You get 10% off your box. And we're gonna do a double unboxing, which will actually have more exciting Sturry things announced probably while we're doing that too.
Yay!
Yep.
So we had one news story which we didn't get to yet. So I figured we were going to talk a lot about the trailer. So I was like, let's just have it a very light news. So Christopher Landon, who directed Freaky, Happy Death Day 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. He wrote
Paranormal 2, 3, 4.
Yes, 2, 3, 4 marked ones.
Marked ones. Yep.
And a bunch of other stuff too.
Anyway, Disturbia. We have a ghost, which
is new. That one's on Shudder. Disturbia, the old one with Shia LaBeouf.
I loved that, by the way.
It was a fun one. I remember seeing that in theaters. Like I enjoyed that.
That was good.
But yeah, so he was announced to be the director for Scream 7, which is interesting. So Radio Silence, it seems like they're going to confirmed they're going to stay on as producers. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that the Radio Silence writing team is still going to write 7.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of, do we feel like Landon's style or sense of filmmaking match the Radio Silence tone? Even if not like perfectly mirrored, can he get there? Right? Because I think that's the thing, is like, even if there's nothing like I can't think of any of his movies and be like, yeah, that's a Scream movie. I mean, there were some good chase scenes in Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
Had some good chase scenes. Freaky was fun. I think he can do horror humor. I think this would require him to lean a little more into the horror versus the humor, right? Because Happy Death Day gets a little slapsticky funny, and Freaky's funny, like more funny. So I think tonally he's going to have to find that craving.
None of the paranormals are funny though.
That you know what? I'm harping on the Death Day, but yeah, no, that's true. If they're funny, they have like little like one-off jokes just to cut the tension.
It's usually circumstantial stuff between people, like human beings. It's not the same type of humor that you find in Happy Death Day.
Right.
Yeah,
no, that's true. And I would say that Paranormal 3 is, I think, my favorite of that franchise.
Mine too.
So the fact that that's
the best movie. One. And I know the marked ones gets a lot of hate, but I really liked that one too.
No, it was fun.
I really liked that one. Talk about taking a franchise and like moving it outside of itself. I loved it.
Yeah, and doing something different.
It was different.
Mm-hmm. I'm optimistic with him hopping in. It's very people are worried, right? Because if you look to the original trilogy, we had a new director. We had a new writer. New writer for 3. Mm-hmm. So as long as we have the same writers, I'm not too worried, because obviously we've had different directors now, so we know other people can direct a Scream movie.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'm a little nervous about the comedy stuff, mostly because you know how I feel about that. It's not one of my favorite things, and I don't want it in my Scream movies. I think Scream is funny at times. I think, but it is, like you said, it would have to be more leaned into the horror than the comedy. I don't know. I mean, I really wasn't that impressed with 6. So I think this honestly probably just kind of helps me get more excited about 7, because I mean, I know it's the same writers, but I think that this would be an opportunity to do something different.
Sure.
And different is desperately what the Scream franchise needs.
Yeah.
After 5 and 6. And I really loved 5. I thought 5 was really fun. 6 I liked. I liked also. I didn't hate either of them. I feel like it's going in a direction that's going to kill the franchise for me as a fan, and I don't want that, because I love the Scream franchise so much. So I need it to do something different this time. I need it to do something different, and because if it's the same, Won't she be a serial killer? I may have to be checked out after this. I may just be completely done with it because I don't care. Like, I don't care. And I want to care again. So, I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously hopeful. I'm nervous about the humor.
Yeah. If it's the end of a trilogy, I think you'll get your answer of whether or not she's whichever way she's leaning. I feel like this is the cap. If they're closing out the story, 3 movies, told the story, done, right?
Right. And
I can't see them dragging it out.
And it's followed the formula, right? So the first Scream was the love interest and the friend.
Yeah.
The Scream 5 was the love interest and a friend.
Yeah.
The second Scream movie was the friend and the parent.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we got parent and friends again in 6. So if it's going to continue to follow the formula, 7 should go back to family members of the final people.
But I hope they don't. If you were talking about doing something different.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because I guess it could still work. Like, I would never say never, but I feel like because 5 and 6 have been so focused on the same girls mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're friends too, but mostly the 2 girls, and specifically more so Sam than Tara. But I kind of want them to just go away from all of that, and I'm not sure how to do that.
Yeah.
Since we just spent 2 movies with these people, but I'm way more open-minded to that than maybe some are, because I know some people really like these characters, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, they're fine, but I want something else. I need something different.
Yeah, I think just this could cap it off, and then if they ever want to do something again with Scream, you can just continue to do new murder mysteries with that tone. You can keep Scream's a vibe. Scream doesn't have to be one character.
Nope.
And
they've already branched into the influence it's had on other people through social media. Like, there's so much that could still be done with it. Can still use Ghostface, can still use The Calling, and some of those more like haha moment things. Like,
sure.
But anyway.
Yeah, I think just have it this big final it's the Avengers of Scream, right?
Right.
If they can get Sydney back, if they can get Courtney back, they can get. If they can, I mean, you don't have to get everyone back, but if you get the biggest, and honestly, don't be afraid to kill people. Please kill people.
All of them, in fact.
One of my favorites. I don't give a shit. Well, maybe not Sydney, but
yeah, I won't be ready for that.
no, but they can kill Gail.
Yes.
Sydney, I feel like they put her through enough. I'm happy they retired her kind of in 6, but maybe you don't even have to have Sydney. Just the core 4. Gal, whoever else they can get to come back, Kirby, but then kill people. Actually treat it like a slasher and freaking kill half the cast, please.
Yeah, 6 was really bad about that. They didn't kill anybody.
No, people you didn't care about, right? A teacher, the
love interest that we just met, Annika.
No, wait, who?
Annika,
right? The teacher, Annika. Right.
A boy we never met that was shoved into a refrigerator, and then the guy that killed the teacher in the alley.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was all people that were peripheral, not important.
We were not invested.
I'm like, no, kill people. We need our Tatums killed. We need our Randys killed. Again, sad they killed them, but
But it was effective because we didn't think it was going to happen.
Right.
So do that again. Go back to that. Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
Radio Silence, I feel didn't have the chutzpah, right? Craven had the chutzpah. Craven did it. They don't have it. No, they're great with certain things, right? I love their visual aesthetic. I love the way they craft a movie and tension and suspense But who
was it that was talking about loving the idea of seeing Scream? Who was it in a winter setting with a white?
A lot of people. I think a snowy Scream would be great.
A black mask with a white robe instead of oh my god, aesthetically, I'm
that'd be so cool. And again, you can get back to referencing horror movies a little bit more, right? 6 had references, but I feel it was so condensed to Jason's apartment at the beginning, and then they didn't really talk about the horror genre, right? Like I missed that. Like if you do a Christmas one, then you could reference like Silent Night, Black Christmas. Like you can
Some of
start
the greats.
yeah, you know. So we'll see. I think I cautiously optimistic. I trust them. Let's see. I like the writers. I think that I think they'll still work as a team. Like if he can only put in as much humor as they write, right? Like he's not going to just all of a sudden be like, oh, what would be really funny here?
Good.
I don't. At least I hope he doesn't do that. He could.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I hope Radio Silence has like some veto power.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those are my thoughts. I don't know. Anything else? Okay.
That's pretty much my thoughts.
Got some recommendations then.
Yeah.
So I just finished a book. I don't have it with me because I returned it to the library, but it's called Dead 11 by first-time author Jimmy Juliano. He got popular on Reddit because he would do short stories on the No Sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know Jimmy? Are you familiar with?
I think I might actually.
Yeah, I don't know his shorts. I haven't gone back and read his like Reddit posts.
Yeah.
But this is his first like published novel. And Dead 11 is really cool. It's about this guy. He's like a local sports reporter. Mm-hmm. He goes to like this kind of remote island up in like Lake Michigan to find his missing sister. And it's told in like really cool like first-hand accounts from the main character, Harper.
Okay.
But then it's told in like letters that she sent from the island to her estranged husband, text messages between teenagers on the island.
That's cool.
And he kind of lays out the history of this island. Now I'm totally blanking on the name of it, though. It's not Dead 11 is a reference to something you find out in the book. Clifford Island. Okay. So it's kind of like a sweeping kind of him trying to expose Clifford Island's secrets, and like there's a supernatural mystery going on in the back, and the people who live there, which is like less than 500 people live on this island. They all like are doing like really weird, quirky stuff, and you're not quite sure why. And everyone seems to be like super obsessed with like the 90s, and you're not sure why. Like people, they're all just like watching 90s stuff. None of the tech is beyond 90 something. It's like an island lost in time. That's not a spoiler or anything for anyone who's trying to nitpick what I'm saying. Yeah. It's really cool. Like, so I enjoyed it. I wasn't like super, super crazy with the ending. It's a good ending, but I feel, I was just kind of like, maybe just because it's such a page turner. You're like, as you're reading, your expectations are just going high and high, So he does look really cool. It bounces between timelines. So it's like the sister going to the island for her reasons, what's going on to her there, and then it's him after her disappearance on the island. And it's these like two kind of back and forth timelines.
Okay.
Yeah, really cool. I think it's already being optioned for an adaptation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So for a first-time author, he's already getting... I think his No Sleep stuff kind of helped. That was his resume. I think that helped him get noticed really fast.
Yeah. That sounds really good, though, and different.
It's different. It is, and he's got a nice voice to it. Like it's like you can hear the author's voice in it. He's got a good tone. I like the way he writes. And then it's been a while since I've been like stuck up at night reading, like, and I just couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
So it's been a while for that. So I've enjoyed it. So definitely check it out.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I've done one of these before. My recommendation is a YouTuber that is a horror Let's Player. If you're not familiar with Let's Plays, it's essentially just you get to watch people play video games. And when you're a chicken like me, that's one of the best ways to experience horror games. If you either don't have the time or money to like invest or buy them up and then play them all, and if it's too much or whatever, it's kind of cool to watch other people. But I'm really picky about the ones that I will watch because a lot of them get on my nerves because they're too silly and like they're not actually scared. They're just being that way because it's like funny when people are scared. And so, which for the record, I've done a couple on the channel. I haven't done very many. You've been in one. And I've done a couple that I did one in particular that really was scary, and me being scared in that instance to me is actually very funny because the things that I say are strictly out of fear. But anyway, so the YouTube account that I'm recommending is called Junior Dynamic versus Horror. He's relatively new. He hasn't been around for forever. But his little description is, I have a passion for horror, and I mean anything horror, from games to short videos to movies, and you will see it all here. So sit back, grab some popcorn, strap your phone to your hands, and let's get scared together. So he does other stuff besides the Let's Plays, but I found him literally right before we were recording this. And that's why he's not recommended, because I saw this thing come up on my YouTube as like a recommended Let's Play to follow. And it was called it's this video game called Father's Day. Well, I'd never heard of it, but the guy that played it looked annoying. So I had to find someone that wasn't annoying. And this was the account that I found. And he's very funny and he's very engaging. And I love finding like new people that are horror related. So anyway, so it's Junior Dynamic versus Horror. And I'll, obviously Steve will put the link in the description. So
links will be below.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's my recommend. He's very engaging. And if you like watching Let's Plays, or if you're a horror fan, go give him a sub and check out his channel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got.
That's all I got.
I think that's all we got for today.
That's all, but look at how long it still took.
I know. Well, I knew, saw, and
Exorcist. So smart. You were so smart to do it this way, because otherwise it would have been a 3-hour episode.
Oh my God. Forget it. I bookmarked so much stuff. We'll just talk about it in 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of The Coffee Crypt. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a good week coming up, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.